What up, vlog? Early morning, Saturday. You're about to watch a really interesting meeting I had with two dudes, two great guys from Connecticut. I went real specific advice. Obviously, the $1.80 strategy on Instagram has hit pay dirt for a lot of you. The 2017 Flip Challenge. I'm trying to force myself to give you guys more black and white tactical advice. I think this is it. This interview kills it. Enjoy it. What's cooking?
Nice to meet you, finally.
Nice to meet you.
I've watched you for a long time.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. So what's going on? What can I help you with in this short period of time we got?
I don't think anything specific. You remember our interaction last week? Yeah, I just wanted to come meet you guys. I kind of run my own business at this point. I'm looking to see if I really want to come here, see this environment, and see if this is something I want to pursue as a personal brand.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I sell a lot of physical products now on Amazon, Shopify. I've usually partnered with YouTubers, and we have them drive traffic to the Shopify stores.
Yep.
So this is kind of a turning point now, and I figured this is actually a great time to meet you and see if this is...
Give me the story from the get.
So I left my job about 4 years ago. I was working at Bank of America. About a week after I found out I was having my second child, I decided to leave. I figured it was my last chance to
This is it.
go at it. So I did.
It's always been in your dome?
Yeah, I've been doing stuff since I was 16, ordering from overseas, just reselling things. So I did it about 3 years ago. Went right into like getting contract jobs, outsourcing that. Transitioned into Amazon, eBay, Shopify.
And lefty.
So yeah, I've been doing that for a while.
Arbitrage. What was your best kind of, what was your best little run?
I do a lot of paper products for like parties, so like baby shower, games, wedding photo booth props.
I like that.
So I sell a lot of those. You know,
Yeah, it's a good market.
yeah, it's low cost.
Has Pinterest been a gateway drug for you in that world?
A little bit, yeah.
You can,
Pinterest as much as I should.
You should, man.
Yeah,
You get the right pin,
I know.
shit could get ridiculous.
I've pinned on Pinterest before. I just don't really understand how to get traffic through Pinterest.
Here's the best part, and you've heard this from me. Go home after this. This might be the best thing that comes out of this meeting.
Yeah,
Go home and be like, how do I get traffic from Pinterest on Google? And just fucking give me 10 hours.
yeah,
If you're still playing in that field, you love that field,
Yeah.
you give me 10 hours of watching videos, reading free content, and then start hacking, you're one pin away from insanity.
I bet, yeah,
And while everybody's looking at influencers and Facebook,
exactly.
in that demo against that product,
Yeah,
you get the right fucking infographic with the right pinfluencer pinning it.
exactly.
Like what you feel from YouTube,
Yeah,
I think could be compounded by 50
through Pinterest,
for cheaper
really.
because their market's not as hot. So they're taking money, right?
Yeah,
But the traffic is bonkers
yeah,
on the right pin.
exactly.
You get the right one.
Yeah, I've been doing well with bachelorette party stuff and wedding stuff, so
You need to look at it, man,
yeah, yeah,
because it's a search engine. And you get the right pin to be above the fold, you know, or the fifth one in the feed around, you know, invites or,
exactly.
you know, baby shower gifts. Shit could get bonkers.
Sure, I understand, yeah,
Got it?
yeah,
10 hours.
yeah,
Just laying in bed reading,
exactly.
watching videos, be like, oh, okay.
I do it with everything, you just haven't gotten to that Pinterest site yet.
If that's the, you know, what's funny about like short interactions, you try to like bring the most value. If that's your answer to my question, then you better get fucking focused on Pinterest.
Yeah, I will.
Cool.
Yeah,
Because it's all demos, right?
exactly, yeah.
You know, it's like, who are you trying to reach? 27-year-old kids? Snapchat matters. 54-year-old executives? Nope. You know?
Sure.
So even though Pinterest hasn't come out of my mouth in fucking 45 episodes,
Yeah,
it's the answer to that question.
that's true, yeah. I'll definitely look into that.
Everybody's trying to catch what's hot without being smart about what they actually sell.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. What else? So remind me, this part I can't connect when our last interaction. Wanted to get a taste of this world for what purpose?
I'm trying to see if this is something I want to pursue as a personal brand. I'm more of an introvert.
Yeah.
I like to do things quietly. You know, you grew up in the 90s, it's kind of like
Yeah. I get it.
You do things quietly.
My DNA didn't allow me to, but I know the culture was definitely not where it is now, where every 14-year-old thinks they need to be a star.
Exactly. So I'm trying to determine whether that's something I want to pursue.
For what purpose? To create more business opportunity?
Exactly. The
How? Leverage to more of your retail arbitrage, or write a book or speak?
I don't know if I want to go into that world. I don't know if the physical products is really will allow me to have the lifestyle I want, because that's really what I'm chasing.
I think physical product will let you have the lifestyle you want if you make the commitment to build a brand.
Of course, yeah.
You know, you can, let me rephrase, you can have a great, you can make $1 million. I mean, there's plenty of retail arbitrage. It's, as you know, it's an always ongoing game.
Sure.
But don't get it twisted, so is being a personal brand.
Of course.
You know, like, you know how it is. Everything, you know, everyone's like, oh, I wish I was a barber I wish I was a basketball player until you are one and you burn out your knee. Like, the grass, man. That grass is green as shit on everybody else's lawn.
Do you get burnt out from the camera following around everywhere?
No, but I.
You're a certain type of person.
I'm a certain type of person. I found my zone. I sat through a parent-teacher conference as a group, and like 4 minutes in, I was sleeping. You know, you got to play to your strengths.
Sure.
And so, you know, if you're naturally an introvert, you don't want to force it because you think the money's there. You may force it because, okay, you're an introvert because of this, but you don't mind. And you don't have to be a showman. There's plenty of people crushing video that are, you know,
Yeah.
Of course, if you got good information, everything's an opportunity.
I really like to try and, I don't know if you know Al Heyman.
Of course.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm a huge boxing fan.
Yeah, me too.
Look, I mean,
Lomachenko fight this week.
Yeah, it's good.
Next month.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I think listen, I get it. There's a lot of sex appeal in being like the mysterious guy behind the scenes making real fucking coin. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially if that's like, anybody who knows who Al Heyman is and then puts him on that pedestal, I almost think that's the answer.
Yeah, I do too. Over the last 2 weeks, I've kind of come to that
Conclusion.
naturally.
Yeah.
And I've just started reaching out to YouTubers, and I'm actually building a few sites for a few of them to run their merch through, so I can have them drive the traffic to the shop.
I think the biggest thing that you need to understand, the difference between Al's game and doing it for influencers, is the influencers have disproportionate more leverage than the boxers do.
Because they have the audience following them.
And they also have unlimited distribution. They can do it anywhere they want for free. They don't need the money up front. AdSense is their bank.
Exactly.
You know? So I think you're right, but I think it's a very different game to represent fighters as it is to, you know, not to mention representing fighters when you make a deal with CBS up front and you've got the leverage and the dollars and the exposure. You can't fight anywhere else. You've got like 2 options.
Exactly.
That's not what an influencer's dealing with.
Of course.
They have 8 million people reaching out to them to manage and get into their pockets and help them and make their pockets bigger. They have unlimited distribution. They can be big anywhere. Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook don't charge.
Very true.
Got it? So just make sure you're not trying to deploy a strategy that works in one world. Theoretically, being behind the scenes making that coin.
That's what
Yeah, I understood that's what you meant, but make sure you don't try to be too direct with the blueprint because the same variables don't exist.
Of course. Yeah. Understand.
Where do you live?
Connecticut.
Where?
Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So it's a good little drive.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to definitely ask?
I didn't have anything specific. I just wanted to come here and see it for myself and see if this is something I want to pursue.
Good.
So yeah.
Great opportunity for me.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself.
Grew up together in Windsor, Connecticut. We grew up playing ball, very diverse high school, got exposed to a lot. And I'm actually a moonlighter, right? So I have a full-time gig, director of engineering at Travelers, right downtown Hartford.
The insurance company.
Yes. But and, you know, as soon as I leave work, tend to the family, then I get to grinding. So
The late nights.
I'm in direct messaging, so SMS, text-to-speech, and also email direct messaging. So my clients currently leverage us for emergency notification, general distribution of information, but getting it in front of their audience on time. So right now, figuring out
Do you have a SaaS business or do you have a client service business?
SaaS. So yeah, skywiredme.com.
Good for you, man.
You know. So
How's it going?
Self-service, good so far. So now.
How are you creating the funnel of clients? Word of mouth, or you running some ads?
So it's going to be Facebook ads. So we just finished a new round of 2D animation. I'm going to do targeted Facebook ads for specific demographics.
Love it.
And run it.
Anything I can answer for you?
So market research was challenging for me.
Figuring out who?
Yeah, figuring out that. 'Cause
It's a tough one for
the administrator, right? And you're a utility. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like if you don't have power, you don't have gas and it's cold.
You feel it.
Yeah. So.
But sometimes you don't even know the difference.
Exactly.
The people, when gas wasn't around in the beginning, you didn't know you were missing it.
Yeah.
We didn't know we were missing the cell phone until it was there.
Yeah.
I get that.
So, you know, basically educating the prospective client.
Can I give you a really, really good piece of advice? Running something in a 25 to 40 mile radius around your business, and then making the piece of creative being an invite to a free dinner to talk about messaging. All of a sudden you get an eclectic, you know, and you make it an RSVP and you put in the copy, first 12 people, because look, you're gonna have to put out $500 for dinner. Super interesting to use Facebook as the gateway drug to localize business transactions in a B2B environment.
Would you target via their
Right.
salary, or how do you target administrators?
Yeah.
Salary?
Salary's a good. I think salary's always a good one. You know what towns have money versus ones that don't in Connecticut. That's sometimes a good one. Employees of, if the business is big enough. So now you kind of look at the 40 mile radius of the businesses. Truth is, his product is pretty agnostic. Anybody could, a lot of people could in theory use it. So I would cast a wider net just to taste it, see the quality of it. You could also, instead of say first 12, say I'm gonna randomly pick 12 of you that RSVP to invite to dinner. Then you see who RSVPs, you Google them and look at their LinkedIn and see who they are. You pick the 12 best leads. Good, right?
Yeah.
People think of technology, digital or real life. I like mixing the two. I know that you'll have a much better, I'm gonna buy, and especially you make a video, you're like, I'm gonna buy you for dinner. I'm the CEO of my company or a partner of my company. I'm gonna buy you dinner and educate you and shoot the shit a little bit about the new digital world. Go, all of a sudden people put a name with the face. You know, people decide to come. There's something real human about that. Most people are always up for, and again, you know what I love about things like Connecticut? You know exactly which restaurant people, you know the 7 restaurants people know.
Yeah.
You pick one of those, maybe you hit up 2 of them and be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. You willing to cover the cost? I mean, like, entrepreneurship.
Yep.
I would pick the 7, I'd call and be like, yo, I'm gonna run this Facebook ad. I'm gonna spend $1,000 just trying to get people to come to a restaurant. You guys willing to cover the meal? Yes. We've been meaning to do Facebook advertising. I'll link you in. Hustle, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
That would work.
Yeah.
That's Chamber of Commerce 10.0.
Very true. Yeah. That's a great.
Yeah. That's it, right? Like that's the, I think a lot of times people think that what got me here with these views is the pizzazz. Back to rounding up this whole thing.
Sure.
What got me here was that part.
Yeah.
Just like knowing, being a practitioner, MacGyver, like doing. And never being too, I'll do that shit now. Never being too fancy for that.
Definitely.
Everyone's like scale, technology, Nope.
Even corporate is coming back. So like, we're in a situation now where you have leaders all the way up to execs that now want to get hands on again.
They have to.
Yes.
They're being commoditized.
Very true.
Your MBA is nice and cute until it's not.
Yeah.
And shit's getting very interesting. I'm glad you guys came down.
Yeah, appreciate it. Really appreciate
Take
it.
time out.
Anything else? I want to kind of give it to you while I got you here.
Yeah, I'm on my path.
Good, man.
I'm glad I came here. Got
Good.
to see it. I'm glad I got that advice from you.
Okay. I love it.
All right, thanks. My picture?
100%.
Can you take the selfie?
Yeah,
That was
100%.
my vision I had. Like,
Yeah.
you can take the selfie for me.
I know, I like doing it because I people, everybody's always got to, there we go. Love it. My man.
Appreciate it, Gary.
I wish you well. Take care of yourself.
Awesome. Drop knowledge on me.
Let's go. Love it. That's right. Hey, Take care of yourself. Good luck. Try that. Let me know how that goes.
I am.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Leave your 2 to 4 cents on what you thought of this little meeting I had. Did you get value? See ya.